Hey there, welcome to this video. My name is Beth Martens. I'm glad you could join me. It's probably because you've done the quiz at my website on the King Hero's journey and the 8 archetypes. And maybe you find yourself in the lover archetype, which is actually really common in the truth and freedom community because truth is the big subject. And so, if you don't know me yet, I'll quickly introduce myself as a pattern hunter. I love freedom more than anything. I am a coach helping people to deprogram and release the shadows of archetypes so that they can be on their purposeful journey. I train coaches. So, if you're interested in learning how to do this, definitely put up your hand to let me know. That's one of my favorite things to do since the pandemic started. And I'm also the founder of the House of Free Will, and I live across the street from a first responders unit. See, my dear sirens on my videos. I'm the author of a book called Journey, a Map of Archetypes to Find Lost Purpose in a Sea of Meaninglessness. I'll talk more about that at the end of the video. I'm the host of the King Heroes Journey podcast, where I hope you go and maybe you've already seen some of those interviews. I did 290 interviews over the course of 4 years because I was really driven to find more truth. That's very lover of me. I am a stand for the hero's journey because I know that if more people got purposeful and answered to God instead of the government or some guru in the truth space, that this would be a different world, that we could step in our power, we would be uncontrollable in a totally new way. So that's why I talk about this subject. The lover archetype is halfway through the journey. And so you go from a place of being more driven by the ego, which is not a bad word. It's just a relationship, me to the world, me to everyone, me and me, to now having a more soul journey. And the lover archetype kicks that off. So the lover is really amazing. The title makes you think that it's all about relationships and romance. And of course, that can be the case. But in reality, the lover's sacred contract is to know that my life is an expression of truth and beauty that I want to see in the world. So we're going to talk about the strengths and gifts of this archetype, and we're also going to talk about the shadows that suck the life out of you. The shadow, all that means is that it's a part of yourself that you are suppressing, and it could be in surprising ways where you know you're losing energy and you know things aren't going well for you, but you think you're doing the right thing. So this could be a real awakening for you. So the main strengths of this lover archetype are having passionate interest. You aren't wishy washy about the things that you love. You go for it, and you're a demonstration of that for others. You have devoted commitment as a result, and potentially having also unbridled affection could be for yourself, could be for others, particular topics, or anyone in your life, anything in your life. You have the ability to find beauty even in ugly things. You can take an ugly thing and make it beautiful. That is a superpower. You pursue truth in an energy giving way, not one that depletes you and leaves you feeling useless and with no hope or any kind of productive anything in your life. You make deep inquiry. You don't stay on the surface. You're not satisfied with that. You get your answers directly from God without an interloper. You don't need anyone between you and your sacred purpose. You're only in that relationship with God, not asking anybody, am I okay? Am I okay? Like the nurturer tended to do, which is before, if you haven't seen that video, that's the one before this on the hero's journey. And so you favor the truth over your attachments. You help others to know, heal, and grow their souls by being a demonstration of that. And maybe that in and of itself is something that you're going to take on as well. You embrace emotion. You're not afraid of feeling at this stage of the journey, which is a very big gift. And we'll talk about why that can be a shadow as well. And you have moral intelligence. You know right from wrong. Now, this is a different kind of right from wrong that the warrior has, that is more calculated, more nuts and bolts, no, more practical. Now, this is again at the level of the soul in those esoteric spiritual places inside yourself where you get that little niggle like, no, this is wrong. Not because it's the wrong thing to do, but maybe it's the wrong timing, it's the wrong person, it's the wrong something, and you know it. And you have that moral intelligence to know who's in front of you and who you are. You are inspired to light a fire of passion under other people. You know how to turn knowledge into wisdom. So you're not just hooked on the facts. You can take that to a deeper place. You are a lover of rich experiences. You might have a gourmet appetite, and you might also have very high standards, which can be great for bringing you to a place of excellence. But let's talk about the shadows now, because that definitely can be one. So one of the hallmark shadows, if we go right to at the level of programs, is something called the perfect program. And many people are familiar with this, that they are perfectionists. They want to get it just right, just so. And they might not show their work or get out there in the world before it's just so. And what happens when you let the perfect program drive you is you never actually get out, because why? There's no perfect. That is a fiction. And it is definitely driven by fear as a program. The lover in the shadow is obsessive and compulsive. So you might know you haven't been able to turn off the videos or stop taking notes or stop, tracking the bad things of the tyrants out there, or looking at every little detail of somebody you think is controlled op. That's another subject of mine that you can find at my website, by the way. And it depletes you and it sucks the life out of you. And even what you're finding, you might think to be truth, but it doesn't actually have the essence of truth inside your being as energy. And you might get tenaciously attached and you won't let go. You may have overly exaggerated emotions and affection and have to display them for what you might feel is a lack inside yourself. You might pursue someone or something outside of yourself to a point of harming yourself or even harming the other. Just think of being pursued by a lover that is sure you're the one and you're sure they're not the one, but they're not going to give up, and they're just, and there's a certain harm that comes of that. It's just as one example. They seek love and approval in disguise of seeking knowledge and truth. That can be a hangover from the nurturer archetype, which comes before the lover. And they are very attached to beauty. So that can be outside them and with their own personal appearance as well. It can be hard for a lover to age and lose their beauty on the outside. And the gift would be that you develop that inner beauty that shines beyond the wrinkles and whatever it is that you don't like about your physical appearance. They judge the not beautiful and are not accepting of the not beautiful. And they have unrealistic or punishing standards, thinking that they're seeking excellence, but in reality, they are harming themselves and potentially harming others. So, this is a very big archetype to unpack. There's a lot of energy that you can reclaim from the unconscious by healing those shadows, by deprogramming and finding what are the roots that hold that in place. Because these are things you may already see about yourself, but you can't for the life of you stop the pattern. So, if you would like help stopping the pattern, you can put your hand up at my website, send me a contact form, say you'd like to have a chat with me to debug the lover or any other archetype where you are on the King Hero's journey. And if you haven't yet seen my book, I do recommend getting a copy of this book called Journey, a Map of Archetypes to Find Lost Purpose in a Sea of Meaninglessness, to learn about the lover and all of the archetypes and how they fit together, and the stories that illustrate them, so that you have some flesh to hang on those bones that I've given you already today. Thank you very much for joining me for this video. If you're watching the whole series, stay tuned for the hedonist archetype, which is next in this series. Bye for now.